First of all, I will like to be extend my warmest appreciation for your interest to be attend virtual meeting at nripress.com on the topic tension escalate between NRI 711 franchise and 711 Corporation of US owned by Japanese company. Let me introduce myself. I am your host, A. Gary Singh Gorewal, a mechanical engineer, worked as a professional engineer, contractor with the automotive industry, such as General Motors, Ford, Japanese companies also. I have also enough understanding about the franchise businesses. In 2018, National Coalition of Association of 711 said 711 Corporation has failed to focus resources and energy on improving declining store level net profit instead of shoring up corporate gross profit of franchise expense. 711 Corporation also present owners with the new franchise agreement, which will lead to the continued decline of profitability. For the first 6 months, we are hearing from NRI friends that under California Work Reform Law, AB5, tension between 711 and franchise and 711 Corporation started. Let me start now with the Baljinder Singh Sidhuji. Balsa is an ex-IBM engineer, NRI Press News Media Senior Association California, as well as for Worldwide Advisor. He also owns 711 stores. Balji, can you say something about this debate?
I think it's this debate was long overdue because the reality is that this is a burning issue in the community, because in this franchise, large majority of the franchises belong to Punjabis or Pakistanis, Asian origin, and slowly all the white franchisees and other communities left, and we are left with this most of the majority in California. And there is wherever we sit in the Gurdwara at functions, we have this topic going on, what's going on with 711. There is a burning issue, people have different views, somebody is saying it's good, somebody's not bad. But unfortunately, our community has habit of not reading anything. They just listen from each other. That includes the interpretation of each other, not the actual what the law is, what the reason is. So that causes a problem. See, I often say that we are operating like we were in India and we are living in America. See, when we were under the British rule, British will split the community, divide and rule. What is happening now, since many years, 711 has been changing the contracts, reducing franchisee income. What happened to the point that that's everybody saying, hey, you know what, we are losing so much income. People got together, they take some action. But other people not realizing the reality, they thinking like India. When you file a lawsuit in India, you become an enemies. But in America, you simply force them to come to the table. So this is not an enmity. This is a way to bring other parties to the table. So not realizing that, not understanding, because of their own misunderstanding, they make stories. Oh, you know what, this is bad, this is good, this is that. So first of all, education of our own community is so important in this case that people should understand that the leaders have taken the position for the benefit of everybody. So therefore, there is at least, they have the responsibility to either say, okay, encourage them, yes, we should work to the benefit of everybody, or at least if they have some fears because of their own ignorance, because they don't read anything. Even the email comes, they never read it, and they will go to WhatsApp and say, oh, what's like that? So haven't read the email, but ask the question on WhatsApp. So I'm not putting it down, but this is the reality. Okay. I'm always subject, anybody can challenge me, but I'm telling you the reality. So because of the situation, some people choose to either criticize the leadership, or they will say, I don't like this and that. And At the same time, company has, but they have some favorites. Always, that's how the politics goes. They try to divide. They got one guy from maybe out of India-Pakistan war. They know they don't like each other, so they got the guy from the other country and write an article for the paper, which is totally goes against the majority of the franchisees. So I have no reluctance in saying that this is politics being played, and I would even go further to say it is an interference within the affairs of the 7-Eleven franchisees' own associations. So that's the reality. And 7-Eleven has written emails to franchisees in a way scaring them that this can happen. But that's not reality. Corporate world does not want to comply with the already existing laws on the books. The matter is very simple. If they follow the law, there is no issue.
Okay.
The thing is that when the corporations use
okay.
their power to manipulate how they want to operate in America. So that's where the issue is right now. 7-Eleven is trying to put pressure on franchisees, writes emails to them. So, but we are kind of people who are, some are totally new, some are 30 years in the system. So the point of view changes a lot. It's a variety of that. But I think I want to thank you for bringing this issue to this media, because that way at least some people will understand it better than what they don't take the time to understand it.
Let me go to Jasprit ji. Jasprit ji, sir, I have a question here. You own the 7-Eleven franchise in Cedar, California. I have a question here. Most of the franchise owners claiming that, because I'm talking a lot of people, most of the franchise owners claiming that company is treating them like a store managers, not a business owners. What do you think about that one?
Thank you, Patty. Thank you for inviting me on this panel. And like you say, I've been a franchisee for the last 22 years.
Okay.
And when I became a franchise, the 7-Eleven was a publicly traded company. And then 7-Eleven Japan bought the company and turned it private. So let me address the reason for filing the lawsuit. I'm a plaintiff along with Paul Labana, Serge Hayatan, and Bob Elkins. There's 4 of us who filed a class action lawsuit against 7-Eleven. The lawsuit was filed in October 2017. And the reason we filed that, it was even before AB5 has become law. The reason we filed back then was because 7-Eleven was treating us like managers. They control how much money the store makes and how much money the franchisee make. They don't control how much money the store make. They control how much money the franchisee make. So we feel even then before AB5 that we've been treated as managers. We paid money to buy the franchise. We don't want to be managers. We just want to go because we know there was a new contract coming out in 2019. We want to go to the judge and have the judge rule whether we are employees or not. In our contract, we are saying they made us acknowledge that we are independent contractor. But the way they treat us like we are employees. You cannot have it both ways. Either we are employees or we are an independent contractor. That was the reason the lawsuit was filed, to get clarification. We have no interest to become managers, and which 7-Eleven has tried to scare franchisees, like Mr. Sidhu has said, is saying, oh, if this guys win, you all will be employees. That's not true. That's not true at all. We don't want to be employees. We want to own our own independent business. But 7-Eleven agreement is just like signing a 7-Eleven agreement is just like signing a piece of blank paper, because they change the rules as you go along, and there's nothing you can do about it because you have signed there on a blank piece of paper. They just added the stuff later on. That's why we filed the lawsuit. Right?
Oh, I see. Okay, ji. Next one, Paul Luhana ji. Let me say that here, is it a 7-Eleven company try to get exemption for franchising in California from AB5 instead of changing the structure of their agreement to satisfy the ABC test? So where do you stand? What do you think about that one? 7-Eleven is try to adjust it to that one, or maybe want an exemption from testware, ABC test.
First of all, I'd like to thank you, NRI Press, having our opinion heard, and I'm hoping that Indian community or immigrant they can hear us and make their own judgment regarding AB5. This is in books. The state of California, they already adopt AB5 as a law. Now the 7-Eleven, they really want to go from the back door and asking exemption that franchisee, they should be exempt from this law.
Mhm.
And from their point of view, rightly so, because they don't want to change the agreement, because in California, they are most profitable stores. They make lots of money from franchisee, and they don't want to change because that's their best interest. But on the other hand, as a franchisee, we are really feeling a pinch, or they are squeezing all the glory, all the profit from us. So we are asking a court to take a look at it if the 7-Eleven agreement satisfy AB5. Or this is the lawsuit we have against 7-Eleven to take a look. The law, the court should view their opinion on their agreement and on AB5, and that's what we are asking. I don't think this is going to be a success for 7-Eleven. We are hoping that the truth will prevail, and the franchisee is going to win.
Mm-hmm. Right. Very good. All that.
That's, Faji, if I may
Go
jump
ahead.
in,
Go ahead,
that
sir.
means that win doesn't mean that we'll become employees.
Okay.
That win will restore our independent contractor status,
Mm-hmm.
which we are asking rightfully so. So I want to make sure that our people understand what a win is for franchisee. A win is not we become employees, because that's what 7-Eleven is scaring the franchisees into thinking.
Oh, right. Okay.
Actually, Gary,
Go ahead, Balji.
Gary,
Go
let me just make a comment here.
Go ahead.
AB5 has nothing to do with making us employees, franchisees, because national franchising law is very bad law. It gives 98% power to the franchisor and maybe 1 or 2% to the franchisee. So that's a bad law to start with. So then on the top of it, franchisors don't want to lose any power. But the AB5 does. It truly makes the franchisee an independent contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do making them employees. No, it makes them independent contractors. And that's what the intent of the law is. Intent, and everything is based around franchise. On the top of it, every page of the document franchisee receives, on it says, you are an independent contractor. It makes sure you don't forget that. But while in real sense, there is the control is so prevailing that you are acting like a manager. So AB5 doesn't make you employee, it makes you an independent contractor. That's the whole issue is. And that's the best thing happened in the United States ever in the history. If that, and why do we change that? I can't understand that.
Is it Justin Lungi? Is it 7-Eleven Corporation try to be applying? Is it AB5 does not apply for franchising, something like that?
But this is, they're making a huge cry about AB5. The same ABC test is a law in Massachusetts for the last 30 years. Dunkin' Donut is flourishing in Massachusetts. 7-Eleven is there in Massachusetts. I think Tim Hortons is. The number of franchises in the state of Massachusetts are thriving despite having ABC tests. The AB5, California borrowed Massachusetts ABC test And there was a California Supreme Court decision called Dynamax decision by the California Supreme Court. All they did was look at Massachusetts and adopted Massachusetts ABC test to figure out whether you're an employee or are independent contractor. So this is nothing new. This ABC test has been around for 30 years. And all AB 5 did was to codify the Dynamax decision into law. So the Dynamax decision came out in 2018.
Right.
And the California legislature codified the Dynamax decision into AB 5. So,
Lavana ji, I have a question there. You feel like an owner, collect all the daily sales, receipts and whole day, you collect money and deposit money 7-Eleven's account in the evening. And why you don't put all money, because you are like an owner, you put money in your account and send them tax commission to them. Why it looks to me funny as a owner, you don't have even cash flow or something. But right now, you people collect whole way money. Somebody is watching you. What kind of business this?
Well, Gary, the part of our agreement, it says that all the receipts, all the deposits has to be deposited into 7-Eleven account. And we do not have any access to that account. We cannot see what is the balance. This is the corporate account, and all the expense and all majority of the expense, not all, is getting paid from that account. And what they do, they send us a report saying that these expense or these vendors are being paid through the open account. Recently, starting from this year, the payroll, they force on us. They used to do all the payroll. Now they gave us option, either their provider, what they call ADP, they can do the payroll, or we can have our third-party payroll provider, which is PRD for majority of the franchisee. So that money goes from our account, and we spend the money upfront, and then we wait till end of the month. If we make money, then we recover that payroll. So this is the system we signed. I totally agree with you that I have some other businesses and I control my financials, but in this case, this is how it is.
Jasiji, COVID-19, did you get any money like all business people get some money? You people are working 24/7. You get any benefit, anything like?
Praji, that's a very good question. And because of our agreement, SBA doesn't recognize us as independent contractor, independent business. As SBA thinks, in their mind, 7-Eleven franchisees are managers. So initially, we couldn't even get any of the PPP loan. We had to lobby so that SBA would give us a temporary recognition that we should get some money from that the government is giving out to small businesses based on the payroll. So yes, we were able to get it, but it was late, and the reason was, like I said, SBA doesn't recognize us as a small business, and SBA and 7-Eleven had met about probably 6-7 years ago, because 7-Eleven wants its franchisee to be able to get SBA loan. But when what SBA does is, to give loans to any franchisees, they look at the agreement. So, and then they recommended changes to that agreement so the franchisee will qualify for the SBA loan. In this case, 7-Eleven attorney and SBA met here in Los Angeles for about 4 days. SBA, this is about the old contract, not even the new contract, which is worse. This is the old agreement. SBA line out so many changes they have to make that after 4 days of meeting, 7-Eleven attorney packed up their bags and left and they say, we don't need SBA money. And that's it. So that's the situation we are in. Even SBA, which is a government agency, doesn't recognize us as a small independent business owners.
Right. You see, when I talk to a lot of 7-Eleven people, mostly people don't feel comfortable now. Why they don't? I'm surprised. They should be happy for that. They are maybe losing. They are feeling that they will not make a lot of money now or something like that. But why they are not happy? Most of the people.
Gary, let me
Sure.
answer that question. I'm also in this system for about 22 years, and I have 3 locations. The first 2 locations, the first one I bought in 1998, the second one was in 2002. And I recovered my investment less than 2-3 years. The money I invested in the system, I got it back within the last, within less than 2 years. Recently, I will say about 4 years ago, I bought a store in Alhambra, and that investment I will not get back, I will say between 5 to 7 years. So it's very clear that franchisees are not making money. They make about 50%. When I started my business, I used to make, double the money what I'm making right now. As a businessman, I want to grow my income, but this agreement, the change in the agreement, it says more you make, more 7-Eleven takes.
All right.
Gary, I really want to put one more effort with a stroke of pen. The 7-Eleven change the split. That makes $40 million per year for them. That $40 million per year is taken out of our pocket. That is not fair. What that means is, as your store is making more profit, the 7-Eleven split is going higher and the franchisee getting less money. I don't see in any other business this is applicable.
Oh, I see.
Against
Okay.
business rules. But this is how 7-Eleven is. Now, I really want to go approach to my fellow countrymen. When they come and see us, they see the fruit we earn after 30-40 years in this business. And they want to invest, and because they see us as successful businessmen, but they don't see that how much effort we had put in.
Yeah, right. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the main thing. Just
If I may add to Mr. Labana's comments, I got my money back I franchised my store in 1998. I got my money back in 1 year. And then I bought a second store in 2001. I got my money back in 4 years. And Mr. Labana is saying that 4 years ago, he will get his money in 7 years. But recently, people that bought the stores last year will not get their money investment back in 10 to 15 years, 10 to 12.
Okay.
And he's still lucky that he will recoup his investment in 7 years that he made 4 years ago. But
Okay.
if somebody made an investment last year, it will take more than 10 years to recoup that money. So basically what's happening is our people are coming here and buying a job, basically. We are not independent. Like Mr. Labana said, the more the money the store makes, the more 7-Eleven takes that money. So
this is my duties right now in future. Any problem like that, part 1, part 2, part 3, where we continue this one, we never give up, number 1. Number 2, we are worried about that. I'm telling my all colleagues, so NRI people, you work long hours. If you're not making money, you have to stand up. You have to look after your children. Goddamn, your family. What the hell you are doing? You have to very careful to listen this stuff there and get a lesson from other people. But this situation, I was really little bit upset last month. I said, what the hell going on? How many American people working with you now? They all gave up. I said, hey, I have to work 9 to 5. That's all.
I think we have covered almost. I just want to say one comment is, I have appealed to all the franchisees are community itself. All franchisees together is a community.
Right.
in California, in United States.
Mhm.
I hope my appeal is that if you can work collectively towards the goal which benefits you, well and good. But even if you cannot work with somebody, at least do not oppose it. At least don't do damage to anyone.
Oh, I see.
This is just a, on a human level, I think I just want to appeal that try not to hurt other people.
Beautiful. Jasiji, you can wrap up, please, few minutes there.
Thank you, Paji, and I hope, like you say, you continue because we need to bring education to our people. And
Educate.
like Mr. Labana said, they look at the fruits. I mean, we've been in the business 20 years. They say, well, 7-Eleven is good business. Let's go into it without doing their homework. Yes, it was a good business, but over the years, ever since the Japanese took it, they've been with the I'm going to use again Mr. Labana's word, with the stroke of a pen, they control how much money we make.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so it doesn't matter how successful that location is, the more that store makes money, the more 7-Eleven makes money. Used to be, we have our national attorney shows a graph, which is like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Before 7-Eleven took over, the income of a franchisor and franchisee were going parallel. They make more money, we make less money, but it was parallel. Ever since they took it private, it started doing this way. And that picture was, is worth 1,000 words for me, because that's explaining it all, what they're doing. And I hope that's why we are fighting this fight. It's not fair, but in law, there's nothing as fair. So hopefully, if we regain our independent status, we can enjoy the cash flow from the business, and we do pay interest. Whenever we buy something, we get charged right away, but we cannot touch our money after a month. It takes more than a month.
Okay, Palji, few sentences, please.
Well, yes, being a businessman, I'm going to talk about number. As I mentioned before that with the stroke of pen, with the change in the agreement, 7-Eleven took $40 million from franchisee pocket per year. And my agreement is for a 15-year. Franchisees, please take a look at it. 40 multiplied by 15 is $600 million they have taken without doing anything. On top of other things, they push towards our ledger. The credit card fee is given to us, 50% of the credit card fee. Then, if the overage they have taken away from us, GGPS, which is, a graduate gross profit split, which is gone in 7-Eleven's favor. The maintenance, the accounting, if you go on, there's a big list. And right now, when you buy a business, please take a look or a second look, or talk to the people who are in the system, and they will tell you exactly what you can make and what you can make in the future. The new trend is 7 Now, which is your people, they can order online and you can deliver it. In our agreement, it says that the 7-Eleven, they can opt out, not going through the store. They can have this, what they call customer base, and they can sell that directly to them without going through our stores, which is in the agreement. I'm not saying it. This is the national attorney, they told us. Right now, we are putting a lot of effort, we are putting a lot of labor to collect that data. And one of these days, 7-Eleven is going to use that data, and they will bypass the store and send that product directly to the customer. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate. Thank you, Sota Saab, Jasji, Bar Saab. I think we will be continue that maybe part 2. Let me see that when we are available there.